What's going on, guys? Today we're going to build this post page. This is like the Facebook wall where users can write a post about music and see other posts about music. I'm not sure if we'll have time to configure everything with the server and database, but we'll get everything styled and at least some placeholder posts. This is a continuation of our Music Talk app. I'll put a playlist in the description, and let's get into it. We'll go to our Pages folder, add a new file, which we will call home.js. And we'll do just a const home component. And then export default home. And then we'll create a path in React Router so that we can go to a URL and view this page. Go to index.js. And later we'll do some conditioning. We'll do some conditional rendering where at slash, we'll either show the sign up, sign in page or the actual home page, depending on if they're logged in or not. But for now, we will just put it at /home and keep it separate for now. So while we build it out. So home, and that just imported it. Okay, so that's looking good. And then back in our home.js file, let's see. So this will all be in a border. So we want to create this kind of outside border, which everything will live inside of. So we'll do a div. And then we're using Tailwind. So we can just do border. And then we'll give that border some color. We'll say a width of 72, and then at the medium breakpoint we will say width 96, padding 9, at medium breakpoints padding 12, MX auto to center it, and margin bottom 16, just to keep it off the bottom of the page. Save that. Let's go ahead and fire this up here. And I'm already running a React app on port 3000 to show you what it's going to look like there. So would you like to run the app on another port instead? I will say yes. And it's going to render on 3001. So if I go to another tab here, localhost 3001, and now we are at /home. Look at that beautiful border.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
Okay, so now we want to add this form. This is essentially just a form with one input, it's a text area, and then only one button to post your post. So let's get that going. Get that going on. So we will do a form, and then I'll go ahead and put the onSubmit event here on the form tag itself. You could also add this to the submit button, and then the function that's fired when the form is submitted, we will call that function submit handler. Call me crazy. And then we can just go right at the top of this component. We'll go ahead and make that submit handler function up here real quick, and we will get an event passed in. Then we'll do event.prevent default so that the page doesn't refresh when the form is submitted, and we will just leave it for that for now. Leave it at that for now. And then we'll add in that text area. See what that looks like.
Oh, Harry. No. Harry. No.
Okay, absolutely terrible. So let's see if we can touch that up a bit. We'll say with full. Okay. And I'm gonna switch these out so I don't have to keep going over. Let's see if this works. Okay, cool. And then this one I will just make 3,000. So we can still reference that one. There we go. Okay, so full width. Is that looking a little better so far? We'll do padding 4 for when they're typing in there, and also the placeholder text. We don't want it right on the edge. We'll do rounded. Give it a little bit of a curved corners there. Outline none, so that when they click into the text area, it doesn't have that border that shows up. Give it some height. Nice, looking good. And then the value property. So we'll want to implement two-way binding here so that we know what the user is typing and what they typed when they hit submit. So we'll use the value and the onChange attribute. Go down to another line here. OnChange attribute. And then to help track these, we're gonna need the use state. So we will import use state from React. And then we will call this, let's say, post and set post. And it'll be an empty string by default. And so the value of the input is going to be post, and the onChange. So the onChange is a synthetic event that's fired every time the input changes, and we get that synthetic event as an argument. So just fire off an anonymous function here every time that it changes, and then we will do set post, and then we'll set post to the event.target, which is the input itself, or text area in this case, and then the value property, so the value of the input. So we're setting the state to whatever they're typing, and then the value of the input is whatever they have typed. So they'll be typing the post, and that'll be the post. Let's see, we want to do a placeholder, and we'll just say write a post about music. Save that, check it out. Nice, looking good. Okay, now we want this post button here. So if I come down from this text area, we will add a button, and then you don't have to do type equals submit, because if there's only one button on a form, it will submit the form by default, but it's more clear that it does that if you just put type equals submit. So I just go ahead and add it, and then we'll say post. Awesome. Don't see it at all. Okay. This will need some styling as well. So first of all, let's do background this color. Gonna need more styling than that. Width full, height 8. Getting there. Margin Y 2. And some spacing there. And let's just round these corners. I think we are good. Nice, looking good. So then we want this horizontal rule here. We'll say width is 2/3 of the container, of that parent container, which is that div with the border that we're inside of. MX Auto to center it. Margin top and bottom 4. And then a border so that we can kind of see it a bit. Oh, and I'm getting errors because I did not close my horizontal rule. Nice, looking good. And now we just want to add the posts. And so I'll probably do a component for each post and then loop through and show the different components. And then we can pass in properties for the username and the post for that user. But for now, I'll just go ahead and do the markup in here. So before we iterate and render these posts, we're going to need some placeholder posts to give us something to iterate over and render. So we'll do some more use state here, and we'll go with posts plural and set posts equals use state. Initial state will be an array of objects, each object being a post. We'll give it a unique ID, and then we'll eventually be getting these from a database with actual IDs and actual posts. But like I said, for now we'll just do placeholders while we're building this out. Jazz takes all of the rules of music theory and breaks them. And then we'll say username is Jazz. Option shift down, create some more of those. And now that we have those posts, we can come down here, break into some JavaScript here, and we will say, we'll check for posts. We'll say posts.length. If that is greater than 0, then we want to map over those. And then the placeholder we'll just call post. And then for each post we will return, and this is where we'll render each post. So let's do a div. And so we'll make this all a div. We'll say width full, margin top 8. Give it a border, make that rounded, and we will do the border color that we've been doing. Awesome. There's nothing inside these posts yet, so they're just a line. So let's see. In here, so we'll make this a div as well, which will contain the username. So we'll say width full for that. Height 8. Background, same color. I don't know why it's not closing my tags for me, but alright, so we'll put a paragraph tag inside of this where we'll actually show the username. And we'll give that the same height as the height of the div. And then the username that will display there will be the post.username. So we're getting these different posts which have a username. We're iterating over those posts, and the placeholder is post and then post.username. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, still pretty terrible. Let's add some padding on the sides here. That's the parent div. I meant on this div that's containing the username. A little too much padding. There we go. Looking pretty good. So now we want a div down here with some more text, another paragraph, which contains the post itself. And actually that'll just be inside this parent div, so we can just below this div, which contains the username, we can just put another paragraph tag here. We'll also give that the same amount of padding so it's all lined up good. Also give some margin on the top and bottom, and we'll say text to white. And then what we'll render here is the post.post, which will be the post here inside of the placeholder post that we're iterating over. Hey, looking good. So I think that's a decent place to stop for now. In the next video, we can actually submit the form to our backend and save the post in the database. And we can also grab actual posts from the database and display those as well. So more good stuff to come. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet to catch the next one. Like this video if you will like this video. And thank you very much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.
Check it.